Launch control. Accelerate less, reduce speed. Wow, the torque steer in this is insane. Oh, 0 to 100 in seconds. Why did Mitsubishi even bother to bring it here in the first place? It's just not a great vehicle. Do you guys remember the old Mitsubishi ASX? You know, the one that I thought was one of the worst new cars on sale, but it had a market. People bought it quite a lot because it had been on sale for so long. Everyone knew what the car was. Everyone knew it was reliable. It was a bloody Mitsubishi. This is the new ASX. It's now $13,300 more expensive than before. And frankly, it's really an all new model. This is a Renault Captur under the skin. In fact, apart from the 2 new diamonds that the Mitsubishi badge adds over a Renault badge, it really is a Renault under the skin. And it's an expensive Mitsubishi on top of the skin. So today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the Mitsubishi ASX. I'm just going to tell you straight up that I think Mitsubishi have gone just the wrong way completely with this model. I don't really know what else they could have done. If we're being honest, Mitsubishi are not doing very well at the moment. The Triton is pretty good and the Outlander is pretty good, but both of those are Mitsubishi products. And this is a Renault. And so as a result, it does come with some interesting French quirks. Today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the new Mitsubishi ASX. What do I think of it? What are the good things about it? Because there are a lot of good things about it. And what are some of the bad things about it? Because there are a lot of bad things about it. Of course, we'll check out the exterior, the interior, practicality, what it's like to drive, considering it is European after all. We will launch it because this thing is a French warm hatch, really. It's quite interesting. And then I'll give you my final thoughts. Should you be running out to buy one of these things, or should you just buy the billion other small SUVs on the market? It's an interesting video today. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk price, because frankly, it is unbelievably expensive. It is so much money, and I think that it has already priced this car out of the market, and I'll explain to you in just a moment why. The whole range starts at $37,740 before on-road costs. That is for the LS grade, which, to be fair, the LS grade was like a mid-spec of the previous generation of ASX. I hate to even call it a previous generation, like it's a completely different car, but anyway. But spec for spec, that's already like $7,000 more. If you go for this Exceed trim here, the top of the range, that will cost you a staggering $46,490 before on-road costs. That is so much money for a small Mitsubishi SUV. Let me put this into perspective for you. First of all, that entry-level LS doesn't even come with blind spot monitors. This top-of-the-range Exceed doesn't even have a 360-degree camera. Competitors, absolutely galore. At the very entry level of the market, you could go for something like a Mahindra 3XO and spend about $25,000 on the road. For less money than this, you can buy a top-of-the-range Mazda CX-30 Astina. For less than $1,000 more than this, you can buy a Lexus LBX, a luxury Japanese small SUV. And the craziest part is there is already a Lexus tax on that. So this is a lot of money. And I think already Mitsubishi have lost in this game, because how can you possibly say that this is a $47,000 car? I really don't believe you can. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. But I've got to get that off my chest. This is not a $47,000 car. And of course, if you want to buy one of these, or you want to buy any new car and you want the absolute best price possible, you should be paying market value for this. Google CarSauce Buy. We have a dedicated team of car buyers who will go out there, negotiate on your behalf, get you the best price possible with zero obligation as well. You don't have to proceed if you don't want to. But you shouldn't be spending this kind of money on this car. That aside, let's talk about the way that it looks, because actually, it's a very, very good looking European SUV. Let's be honest, it is a Renault Captur, literally almost identical, except for slightly different grille inserts and 2 extra diamonds. That's it. It is a Renault Captur, and that is a good thing. I really like these lights here. They're very bright LEDs. Also got a really nice LED daytime running light and a LED turning signal. That's good to see as well. You have your Mitsubishi Diamond badge there. I will say one of the best things about this is it comes with a 10-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty. There are stipulations, like you have to service it at a Mitsubishi dealership, but still, 10 years, you're probably going to want that on something that comes out of France. Let's just be honest. But you never know, time will tell. Don't at me, Mitsubishi, don't at me. You have what should be a 360-degree camera. I can see the cutout for it here, but it hasn't been optioned here for whatever reason. You do have a front radar, but as you'll see, it doesn't have a very good adaptive cruise control system, or at least lane centering, which it just doesn't have any at all. It does get cameras at the top, but It can't do that. Let's check out the side. So the sun has come out, which is a good time to show you this paint. I really, really like it. It's a beautiful red with a black roof as well. Just a two-tone. Probably would be expecting that at 47 grand, but anyway, it's good to see it there. You have these 18-inch alloy wheels, a really nice design to them too. They're wrapped in some good tires as well. Continental Eco Contact 6 tires. The only thing about them is I think they're over-wheeled. What do I mean by that? They're too big. And as a result, the ride, it's okay, but it's not the best. As you'll see in just a moment, you do get proximity sensing with keyless entry and go. That is very good. Again, no 360 camera here on these blacked out mirror caps. That does kind of suck. Very tinted privacy glass there too. And you can see it's a tiny, tiny little SUV. In fact, it's smaller than the ASX that it is replacing. Let's check out the bum. And then coming to the rump derriere of the Renault Mitsubishi ASX, you can see here that it's got some pretty nice LED lights. I'm not entirely sure if these are incandescent bulbs or LEDs. Let me know in the comment section if they are Mitsubishi. I'm disappointed. You have Mitsubishi spelt out there on the back, Exceed spelt out there too, and ASX as well. You have this hump here, which is just a very ugly hump, but that is your reverse camera, which is bad. It's a bad reverse camera. They could have at least made it higher quality, but they didn't. It's not very good. And then down the bottom, you have your generic bumper there too, but a handsome SUV. I actually really like the way that this little thing looks. It looks great on the road, which you would expect from a French car. They've done a great job. Well, let's check out the bum space. Alrighty, what about boot space? What can it fit inside of its bum? Well, it's okay. In fact, on paper, it's very good. 484 litres with the rear seats up. You can slide them forward, but if you do so, all right, you'll get 530 litres, apparently. But you'll have zero legroom. Like, literally no one could fit back there, so it's almost pointless. And then you get, like, maybe 3 inches of extra boot space. Like, it's just not usable. So you wouldn't do that. You can drop them, though, and get, like, 1,400 litres of boot space. And there is a whole lot of underfloor storage as well. So it's an okay story, but it's not going to blow your mind. And again, those sliding seat features, a little bit pointless. Let's check out the interior. Alrighty, guys. Ooh, interior now of the Mitsubishi, God damn it, the Mitsubishi ASX. As you could hear, this is a Renault, so it feels pretty solid, actually. A nice European interior, and I've got to say, versus the old ASX, boy oh boy, is this a much nicer interior, but that bar was literally as low as you could possibly go. So yes, really easy, first of all, to get into a comfortable position. These are nice seats. They're a faux leather, but still nice enough. The issue is, at 47 grand, almost 50 grand or plus on the roads, it had better be a nice interior. And it's nice, but it's not gonna blow you away. Let's talk about the things I really like though. This screen, it is a very, very good display. It's actually an Android-based operating system, meaning you get things like Google Maps built in, and it's extremely snappy. Like, it's very, very fast. You do get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, both of which work really, really well. Massive shout out to you, Renault, frankly, but Mitsubishi as well, for keeping the physical air conditioning controls. Now, it is only single zone of climate control at this price point, but anyway, single zone of climate control, but physical buttons, it's just so easy to use, and I'm really happy about that. I spent a long time trying to figure out where the bloody hell the volume buttons were. Well, you have a little stalk here, which is fine, except you've got a scroll wheel at the back that I'm constantly knocking by accident, and it's changing tracks, which is annoying. You've also got a couple of buttons here at the top. And once you get used to them, then it's a pretty good system. Same with this digital instrument cluster up in front of you. So at first I thought it was really, really basic, but once you start going through a few of the menus, you can get things like full-size Google Maps or Waze, whatever program you use, you can get that up in front of you. So it means you don't have to constantly look at the infotainment display. You can get it up in front of you, and not just some random generic maps, but the best, right? Google Maps / Waze. They are, in Australia anyway, the best. So I'm really happy to see that that's there, and they're customizable enough. Let's talk about the steering wheel. It's a nice, again, faux leather steering wheel. Renault are either now completely vegan or going completely vegan. So anyway, this is one of their first completely vegan products, i.e. plastic, but it's a nice faux leather steering wheel. You have buttons here to control pretty much everything, and it's logically laid out. So that's very, very good to see. Storage space in here is good as well. You have a big storage area here, an open storage area here with 2 USB-C fast chargers, a 12-volt which is good to see. You have a wireless charger, which is completely unlabeled. And also, it sucks as a wireless charger. Literally, it sucks. It completely drains the power out of my phone. So yeah, my phone is somehow discharging sitting on it. Awesome. You've also got a little space here for your key. Let's talk about this key. It sucks. It is possibly the worst key in the world. Renault keys have sucked for a long time. They're supposed to fit in your wallet. You tell me, is that really gonna fit in your wallet? It's not gonna fit in my wallet. It's too thick. You can't actually latch it onto anything, but you can store it here. So that sucks. You do get a couple of cup holders here though. Your center armrest is nice and soft, and also slide it, which is nice. Open it up though, it is very, very narrow. So you're not getting much in there. You get a pretty big glove box though, which is good. And this is good too. You get a relatively small, but still good sunroof here, and you can control it using these funny knobs. That's cool to see too. I have to say though, this thing has competition, and at 47 grand, it is just not all that great. Like I said, you can spend a few $100s more and get yourself a Lexus LBX. You can get yourself a Volkswagen T-Roc, which is arguably better at driving. And that City Life trim that this would compete with also comes with a full panoramic sunroof and Vienna leather seats. So a very nice leather. I don't know how they're justifying this price. I'm struggling. It's like nice, but it still feels like a cheap city car in a lot of ways. And there's no escaping that. No ambient lighting, no matter how good it is gonna fool me. Let's check out the back seats. So these are the seats, by the way, slid all the way forward for boot space, but no one could fit back here. And I can barely fit just as this. So at 5'11", behind my normal driving position, I've got just enough leg room, not very much. Toe room is also just okay. Headroom as well is pretty good, except there is this giant C-pillar, which is very easy to hit your head on. So be careful about that. A few people have done that already. You do get map pockets here, a couple of air vents, 2 USB-C fast chargers, another 12-volt pocky-wocky. No fold-down center armrest, which, oh my God. The seats though, they're pretty nice, I will say. Even if they're a faux leather, they're nice and bolstered, and it is a pretty comfy place to be. But this, scratchy, but this is at least a little bit soft. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think it's pretty clear that I'm a little bit disappointed. For this kind of money, I would just be expecting a lot more, and it does not feel premium enough for what Mitsubishi are charging you for it. It's nice. It's definitely a step above the old Mitsubishi ASX, or maybe even a flight of stairs above. However, versus competition, like a Lexus LBX, I don't see the value. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Like I said, if you want to buy one of these, you want the best price possible, as always, CarSauce buy, scan the QR code on your screen now. We will get you the absolute best price possible. But yeah, you shouldn't be paying that kind of money for this car, I don't think. But maybe the driving dynamics will shock me, okay? They'll blow my mind. Let's drive it. Alrighty guys, it's time to launch the Mitsubishi ASX. We have our specialist timing gear that won't stay on. Stay on. We're gonna put this thing into sport mode and we're gonna launch it. We're gonna see just how fast or slow Mummy is. All right, let's launch it. Fist me, good. Launch control. Accelerate less, reduce speed. Wow, the torque steer in this is insane. What? Oh, that is so much better than I expected. 0 to 100 in 8.18 seconds. It's not slow, pretty fast. That's like warm hatch territory with wheel spin. All right, let's drive her normally. Alrighty, mummies and daddies. Let's put our foot down. God, this thing has so much torque steer. It's hilarious. So, powering the, I was going to say Renault Captur. Oh, that was a slip. Powering the Mitsubishi ASX and subsequently the Renault Captur is a 1.3 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, and it's got a big turbo to it. You put your foot down. Yeah, this thing's got some pep to it for such a small displacement. You know, I could go to the supermarket and get milk about the size of this engine. But it puts out 113 kilowatt of power, and 270 newton meters of torque. It is quite a lot of power and torque for what is a relatively small vehicle. Let's put this thing into sport mode. Eco Sport, baby, there we go. So how does this compare to the previous ASX? Well, I mean, it is 1,000 times better than the previous ASX in so many ways, particularly with how it drives. But that was an incredibly low bar, because the previous ASX, it didn't drive that well. But what you did get was a 2 litre or a 2.4 litre engine, both of which naturally aspirating wheezers, neither of which were very efficient, but both of which would literally go forever. So you can't comment, I can't comment on the reliability of this. I really just couldn't. Having said that, I would go so far as to say Mitsubishi has a better track record than Renault when it comes to long-term reliability. Though you do get a 10-year warranty, so there is that element. Might be pretty costly for Mitsubishi, but who knows? Maybe it won't be. I don't know. The transmission in this is also mostly good. It's a 7-speed dual clutch. It's actually quite fast to shift. As it doesn't shift there, I'll shift for you then, because we have our pedals, baby. But yeah, this thing is actually quite fast to shift, and it's a decent transmission. And the pairing itself is quite good. In fact, I'd say it's warm hatch territory for what is a small family SUV that would struggle to fit most small families, but still, it's a small family SUV. We're gonna go over our patented, oh, I can really feel the traction kick in. We're gonna hit our ball buster. The suspension on this is actually quite good, and the ride quality is also quite good. The issue that it has is that it's riding on wheels that are just too big for it, so you can feel the pitter-patteriness of the road, i.e. when you're not activating the suspension, it just feels, well, you can just feel everything. It's also quite noisy in here. It's quite a loud cabin, but it's also a bit of fun. So I'm not gonna take that away from it. It certainly drives way better than the ASX that came before it, but it's not really a fair comparison because like I said, the previous ASX was a little bit on the poopy end of driving dynamics. All right, let's see how she goes up saucy bloody corner. Gonna tickle my little pickle. Here we go. Accelerate less and reduce speed. How about I'm in sport mode, baby? Leave me alone. So, hairpin numero uno. Look, apart from traction control cutting in and cutting all the fun, it actually is quite a bit of fun. It's quite a tossable little hatchback thing. I like that. And then there's fuel economy. So, even after driving like an absolute idiot, a buffoon, a monkey, we're getting 7.5 litres per 100 kilometres. This is one of the best things about Euro engines. They are bloody efficient, and this thing is efficient. It is very, very efficient. We have to get back to one of the things that really annoys me about this car, and that is the adaptive cruise control. You might be like, Matt, it's got adaptive cruise control, and it does, and it's pretty good, actually. It's good at keeping you a safe distance from the car in front of you. However, you see that little icon there with a little steering wheel? That's supposed to indicate that this has lane centering. It does not work. Yeah, I've tried everything. I've read the owner's manual, I've looked up YouTube videos. There is nothing that will trigger this system. It is supposed to work at 60 kilometers or above, and when you're following a car, which sucks because if you're on a country road like here where you have no one in front of you, it still won't do it. But even if you are following a car, it just doesn't work. So I feel like that's a promised feature that simply does not exist in Australia. You can press a button here though, and that shuts off literally all of your safety systems, which is fantastic, because so many safety systems are too annoying. But yeah, one of those creature comforts that I look for on any long drive, which is lane centering, really makes you a lot less tired over a longer journey. This doesn't even have a brand new car, a Lexus LBX money, no lane centering. All right, let's get into our final thoughts. Final thoughts now on the new Mitsubishi ASX. Should you be running out to buy one? The honest answer is no. It is way too expensive. It is actually not all that nice. It's just not a great vehicle. And so it kind of makes me scratch my brain thinking, why did Mitsubishi even bother to bring it here in the first place? I am all for bringing in as many cars as you possibly can, but they have to be competitive. This isn't competitive in like any way. The fact that the base model doesn't even get blind spot monitors blows my mind. And it doesn't even appeal to the kind of person who would buy a Mitsubishi. You could buy a base model Outlander for this price. You could buy a Lexus LBX for this price. So why would you buy a Renault dressed up as a Mitsubishi that can't even like center itself down a highway in 2026? I don't know. I certainly wouldn't. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Would you buy it just for its 10-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty? That is very good. Do you see the value in it? Let me know in the comment section below, or are you just going to stick with the old ASX? Just buy something used. It is $13,000 more expensive than before. Wow.